Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your day, making it positive, making it productive, whilst still keeping a smile on your face. Why not? Hopefully you guys are doing good, though. Real talk. I'm on with you guys for a short one, but I wanted to give you guys this story. There's two stories that came out of colleges yesterday that I want to make sure I get a chance to cover. One, of course, was at UVA, if I'm correct, and another one that happened in University of Idaho. And I wanted to make sure that I get a chance to cover both of these stories. Both of these stories are very strange. Obviously, one has basically kind of wrapped up and has been tied up and has an ending to it, and one of them really doesn't. It's still an open-ended situation, which is the story that I'm talking about right here, which we're going to be talking about here in just a minute. 4 students were found unalive in an apartment a little off campus from the University of Idaho. And there's a lot of questions. This is just a weird situation. 4 students, 4 young souls, their lives are gone. Gone. And still no one knows what happened. They have not given out any information so far. They haven't said their cause of their passing. Nothing so far. So I said, hey, let me jump on this one. Let me talk to you guys about this one first. And then I am definitely going to be talking to you guys about the University of Virginia. The UVA one is there as well, because let's be real, that one is just as devastating and just as heartbreaking as well. So you'll be hearing from me 2 times today to talk about these 2 separate situations that basically happened, or at least the news came out at the same time. 2 completely different college campuses dealing with their own set of unbelievable, unthinkable tragedies. So I wanted to be able to get on here and chop it up with you guys about both of them. Now, there's a lot of people that people aren't really talking about this one as much, from what I've noticed. Of course, they're talking about the 3 football players that their lives were taken from UVA. Of course, we're going to be talking about that here soon as well. But I was like, hey, you know what? Let me talk about this one first, because it seems like no one's really talking about this one as much for now. I have a feeling there's going to be more information coming out here, and people are going to be talking about this one very, very soon. But let's get into some things. But a little bit of housekeeping before we get things started. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Send it past 200 likes. I see a bunch of y'all starting to file in, being a part of the conversation. I appreciate you guys for being here. Real talk. All right? Please hit that like button down below. Not only does it make you feel all ooey and gooey inside, but it also helps get the story out there a little bit more. And like I said, it's not really a story that people are talking about right now. It's very interesting. I mean, the stories are out here. They're being said, but it's kind of it's flying under the radar. But it's just something I've noticed, okay? And of course, for those of y'all who haven't done this yet, hello, what's up? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Do me a small favor and hit that subscribe button, baby. You know your boy, or soon you will find out your boy's working hard out here in these streets to give you the information and the stories that you need for the day. All right? So, please be sure to do all those things and check out my merch store, pascalmerch.com or beautifulbeefcollections.com. Please go check out that stuff. We got some really great hoodies, t-shirts, joggers, etc. over there. We got a huge Black Friday sale going on, so please go over to pascalmerch.com and get you some stuff, okay? Anyway, let's get into this, guys. Now, this is a heartbreaking story. My mind is still blown over this story because it just seems so strange. This story, 4 students, which I'll introduce you to them here in a little bit. But 4 students, their lives were taken. They were found in an apartment a little bit off campus from the University of Idaho. And now they're calling it, of course they're looking into this and they're saying that this is a homicide. But now they're saying that this could have been a crime of passion. And that makes me wonder, what the hell would indicate a crime of passion? Again, what would make them think this is a crime of passion? I hate to say that, and in that way, but it does make you wonder, what do they have? What evidence do they have? How was the scene in that apartment that would lead the law enforcement to believe that this could have been a crime of passion? They say something about it being like a botched burglary, like a burglary gone wrong. But a burglary, they're trying to burglarize college students? Just seems a little strange to me. As Daisy just said, yeah, this is crazy. Absolutely. But, and the reason why I'm talking about this too is, and I'm not trying to fear monger. I'm not trying to make anybody feel any type of way or, want to make people, hide in their become hermits and just stay in their own little caves and little cubby holes. I'm not trying to do that. Not at all. But it's wild to me that there's a lot of situations like this, and then some, that are just popping off everywhere. More and more, we're hearing about people losing their lives due to either gun violence or towards quote unquote crimes of passion. We have little boys and little girls disappearing and possibly being found in people's backyards. There is so much evil out here. It's absolutely mind-boggling. And of course, I'm talking about the Quentin Simon case. I'm talking about Summer Wells. I'm even talking about Michael Vaughn. We already, I know a lot of y'all are already kind of getting savvy to the Michael Vaughn situation. At some point, I will talk about that too, but I know that there's been a lot of other really great content creators that have been deep diving into the Michael Vaughn situation. And hopefully I'll be hopping on and talking about that here so you guys can hear the story in my perspective here very soon as well. But there has been a lot of really great content creators talking about this and speaking truth to the situation and correcting some wrongs that happened during the time that this young boy initially went missing. But like I said, there is just so much bad happening. And it's just, for me, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And it just makes it just doesn't make you want to go outside. It's sad. Again, the 3 men that lost their lives, 3 football players, college students that lost their lives after going on a field trip to go see a play. And of course, this has nothing to do with this story. But it's just wild to me that a man walks up, aims at them, does that unthinkable thing, and those 3 men are no longer here. Some other people were injured. Some people are still in critical condition in the hospital, fighting for their lives right now, still to this day. And that's just on the UVA situation. Now we're talking about this. Now we, of course, in this video and in this live, we're talking about these 4 students whose lives are just completely erased from this planet. And the cops still do not know why. So we got to get into this and take a look at a little bit of these articles. And again, this is just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I will say this too. Let me blow myself back up again. You know, we're walking into the most wonderful time of the year. Please be careful out there, guys. That's all I'm going to say. Desperate times comes desperate measures, okay? So please be safe out there, especially if you're going to go shopping, if you're going on Black Friday shopping, because that's next week, y'all. Okay? Just be safe, okay? Please. But let's get into this, all right? Four Idaho college students were found unalive in an apparent homicide. This is what the officials say. Now, this is an article from yesterday, if I'm correct, or from earlier today, I'm sorry. But I wanted to give you guys what's been leading up to the information that we know now. All right. So 4 University of Idaho students who were found unalive off campus on Sunday were believed to be victims of homicide, the school officials said. The students were identified by the Moscow, Idaho police as Ethan Chapin, who's 20, sorry. Ethan Chapin, who is 20, from Conway, Washington. Madison Mogen, 21, of Coeur d'Alene, okay, of in Idaho. Xana Kernodle, I think. I'm butchering these last names. I'm sorry. From Arizona, and Kaylee GonCalves, from Idaho. Again, I apologize for wrecking their names. But Moscow Police Captain Dahlinger told the Idaho Statesman that all 4 students were considered victims, not suspects. And here's a little photo of them and what they look like, who they are. These young individuals. All right. So they're considered victims, not suspects. That's crucial, just so you guys know. This was not a situation where one walked in, unalived everybody, and then unalived themselves. Do you see what I'm saying? They are all victims. And they look like they all get along just fine. But it does make you wonder, what happened? Why did this happen? How did this happen? So he told the newspaper, we certainly have a crime here. So we're looking for a suspect. No one is in custody, and the police department said it does not believe there's an ongoing community risk. Now, that's another piece of information that you need to know as well. They shut down the university. They were, telling people to stay home, or to stay, don't go out, because they didn't know what was going on. Obviously, finding 4 students gone in the same space at the same time is mind-blowing, right? So, of course, the university was like, stay home, stay in your dorms, red alert, right? So this is the information here too. The victims were found around noon on Sunday when officers responded to a report of an unconscious person, according to police. Now, I keep wondering who called. That's the other piece too. Who would call and tell them a report of an unconscious person? Let's be real. How would they know? Now, of course, this is me just throwing out speculation. Of course, this is me asking these questions, because obviously I have not heard the 911 call. The 911 call has not been put out yet. Nothing of that sort. Okay. But at the same time, it does make you wonder, how did the person who called 911 to say that there was an unconscious person in a room or in an apartment know that there was an unconscious person in the room in the first place? Unless they're peering through a window, right? Again, I got questions. Could that phone call have been the actual suspect? Maybe. I have to ask that because that doesn't make no sense, y'all. Okay, so again, victims were found around noon on Sunday when officers responded to a report of an unconscious person, according to police. When officers arrived, they found the 4 students unalive, the police said. The fatalities appear to be a one-off type of situation. This is apparently what Moscow Mayor Beji told ABC News on Monday. Something had occurred that resulted in these unalivings. There was no robbery, he said. The mayor added, as for further threat of incident in the community, I'd say there probably isn't. Okay, no matter what. And of course, this is a photo of the apartment complex that where the crime was where the crime scene is at. Okay. Now, one thing, okay. Let me just say this. You say, I'm going to work backwards here. Okay. No matter what, he says, the mayor literally said, as for further threat of incident in the community, I'd say there probably isn't. So there's no threat. Yet you have somebody out here in these streets kicking rocks, breathing in this freedom air, allegedly running around doing God knows what, after they had done some unthinkable thing to 4 innocent students. And you're telling me that this is probably not a threat to the community? What? Somebody make that make sense. To me, that's a threat to the entire community. 4 students in the same room, gone. This is not 4 students randomly in different spots. I get that. But at the same time, for someone to go in and do a mass unaliving like this, in one space, you don't think this person wouldn't go down and maybe do something like that again? I'm just saying. Again, strange. Just like Ann said, strange, yo. 'Tis strange, this one. All right? But let's continue. I'm working backwards. I'm sorry on these quotes, but something had occurred that resulted in these unalivings. There was no robbery. Obviously, at first, they thought it was like a robbery gone wrong. They thought it was a botched, messed up thing, right? Okay, that's fine. Because of what I'm going backwards towards. They said the fatalities appear to be a one-off type of situation. What do you think? How do you think a one-off type of situation? What do you think they're alluding to? A one-off type of situation. Either this was one single shot, if you get what I'm saying, to the dome. Okay. Or it was something sharp towards the jugular. Of course, I got to use these code words. I'm sorry, guys. But think about it. A one-off type of situation. To me, I think it's a, pulling the trigger type of situation. One shot. And clearly they're saying that in this situation, it's not indicating a self situation. Does that make sense? From what I'm seeing, when they say a one-off type of situation, this may have been done in a way that somebody by themselves couldn't have done it to themselves. Does that make sense? So something happened. Clearly something happened. And Kaylin, yes, we're going to be looking at that here in just a second. But yeah, not the New York Times, but another article that's saying it was a crime of passion. And that makes me wonder, like I said earlier, what indicates a crime of passion? How do they know it's a crime of passion? How gruesome is this scene? And again, let me ask you guys again. I'm going to ask this one more time, or I'm going to ask it a bunch of times. I'm sorry, but I'm going to ask it a couple times. How did 50 get the tip from somebody who said they saw an unconscious person in the room or in this apartment? How did that person know that there was an unconscious person in the room? Unless the blinds were just wide open. But you're telling me that you're telling me that they're not going to sit there and go, there's an unconscious. You see what I'm saying? If you're seeing a scene like that, I'm sorry, I'm not calling 50 and saying, oh my gosh, there's an unconscious person. A scene like that, 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of these students gone, and you're saying you only saw one unconscious person, and I can only imagine what the scene looked like. Again, like I said, if it's a crime of passion, it sounds like it's pretty messy. Hate for the put in that graphic, but think about it, y'all. Do the math. You're telling me this is a clean scene and it's just one remains just laying on the floor somewhere? In a clean room? I just don't believe it. Like I said, it don't make no sense. It don't. So this tip that they received, in my personal opinion, had to have been the person who took these young people's lives. That's what I think. I mean, that is a speculation. Okay. And it could literally have been somebody walking by the room and seeing a scene, but it just doesn't make any sense. Halloween is gone. Halloween is over, baby. We're walking into Thanksgiving right now, baby. So it's not like, oh, they're trying to do a Halloween thing. It's a prank. No, it's Halloween done. So it doesn't make any sense for them to go, oh, there's an unconscious person in this room. This had to have been from somebody that knew what was going on. There's just no way. If I walked by and I was able to see through the window and there was somebody unconscious on the ground, I have eyes. I'd be able to see everything else that was in the room. I'm telling you, this is not like, it ain't right. Math ain't mathin', okay? Chapin, a freshman, and these are all, by the way, apparently, these were all kids that were in fraternities or sororities as well. So Chapin was a freshman in the Sigma Chi fraternity. Wow, I'm off today. Sigma Chi fraternity, and was majoring in recreation, sport, and tourism management. Mogen, a senior, and Kernodle. Hopefully, I'm saying that name right. Both those last names right. A junior. So one was a senior, one was a junior. Both were marketing majors at the Pi Beta Phi sorority. And then GonCalves was a senior, was majoring in general studies, and was in the Alpha Phi sorority. All of them were Greek. All of them were in there. Okay. All of them. Could it be a thing that something more sinister was going on. It doesn't make any sense. So, yikes. Words cannot adequately describe the light these students brought to this world, or ease the depth of suffering we feel at their passing under these tragic circumstances. The university is working directly with those affected and committed to supporting all students, families, and employees as this event undeniably touches all of us. The police department said it's deeply saddened for the families of these individuals, fellow students and friends, and our community during this time. Our heartfelt sympathies go out to each and every person affected by this incident. Now, of course, this is very important as well. So, anybody who knows any information that may be watching this show right now, please call the Moscow Police Department at 208-882-2677. Again, let me just pull that up so you guys can see that a little bit better and cleaner. 208-882-2677. One more time, 208-882-2677. If you have any information revolving around this situation, please do so. Now, one thing is, I'm seeing people say this too. Tyler Hackman just said hazing is a possibility, but when have you ever heard about hazing turning into an unaliving? Also, these were all members of different sororities and fraternities, all in the same room at the same time. So why would it be a hazing on from all different sororities and fraternities? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. So hazing to me is, I mean, the theory of could it be a hazing that went wrong? A hazing that just went to ish? They were all in different sororities, all the girls, okay? Or they were in two different sororities, okay? And then the guy was in a fraternity. So I don't see it being a hazing gone wrong, because that just doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? I mean, the theories probably are running wild right now. Okay. And that's weird, because they're going into break right now for Thanksgiving. When they come back, I mean, this is just from my own memory as a college. You come back, you do finals, and then you go on a winter break. So why would they be hazing now? The semester's almost over. They're going into finals. So why would they hazing and all that stuff starts in the very beginning of the year, very beginning of the school year, beginning of the fall semester. So why would they be doing it now? So that doesn't make any sense either. Nicole B, I see that too. Maybe a roommate that had no friends. If that's the case, then that would have been a first and foremost prime suspect. But they're saying right now that the suspect is still out on the lam. They don't have any suspects right now. So if it was a roommate, let's just say a disgruntled roommate that just couldn't stand them damn sorority and fraternity people, okay? Those sorority girls and frat boys, right? If that was the case, that person would have been in there and they would have already said, we have a suspect. We already have a suspect in custody, but right now they have nobody. So that can't be it either. It's just so strange. But I got a news clip from the beginning giving us some more information about this. Like I said, it's just so wild to me. It again, math is not mathing to me. It's just not. But let's take a look at this news clip real quick. Hit the number 1 and let me know if you guys can hear this video.
Now to North Idaho, where 4 University of Idaho students were found dead in an off-campus house yesterday morning. Today, both the university and police identified the students who were killed. 3 of them are from Idaho. Our Andrew Bartline just arrived on scene a short time ago. So Andrew, tell us what you're seeing and hearing now here live in Moscow.
Well, Doug, we'll start by kind of getting our bearings here. This is the corner of King and Queen in Moscow. Now, if our photojournalist Troy wants to pan for a second in this direction, you can see the water tower. That's kind of where the heart of campus is here at the U of I. So this is just adjacent to it. Now, this is the house where this has happened. It's all blocked off with police tape. We can see there's one Moscow police car over in the corner, kind of near the end of the house there. And there is a Moscow police officer in that car. We've kind of seen him get in and out of his car and float around. But of course, we're not getting a ton of information right now. We do know, as you said, Doug, 4 people dead, all students here at the University of Idaho. It is being investigated as a homicide. This was sort of discovered yesterday around noon when police responded to a call of an unconscious person. When they arrived on scene, they seen that there are 4 students that are dead. There's no suspect at this time. The latest we've heard from Moscow police, they do not believe there's an active threat out to the community either. Now, we have these names, and we can release them for you guys right now if we want to throw up a graphic that makes it a little bit easier to digest. It's Ethan Chapin, a 20-year-old from Conway, Washington. Madison Mogen, a 21-year-old from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Xana Kernodle, a 21-year-old from Avondale, Arizona, but we do know that she originally is from Post Falls, Idaho. And then Kaylee GonCalves, 21-year-old from Rathdrum, Idaho. And we talked with a student who lives right next to this house where this happened. She had no idea that any of this happened the night of. She says that the next day they saw these police cars out, and everybody in that house, 6 people live there. They've all since gone home. Her and her last roommate were the last 2 to leave. She says that's the same for all the houses in this block, in and around this area of town. These students are going home early for Thanksgiving break after talking with their parents and deciding that that's how they feel most safe and most comfortable. So
let me roll that back one more time, because like this is some wild stuff. And ATLian, yeah, like 2022 been just a dumpster fire. And this is just people wilding out, y'all. And I don't know what's going. I don't know why. I don't know why it's going down like this. It's increasingly more and more violent out in these streets right now. Shoot, even college students that are just studying and doing their damn thing, that you know, they're not even safe there. You're not even safe. Now, I want you guys to hear what he says about the person, the neighbor, okay? Because I think that's information that we should hear one more time.
I believe there's an active threat out to the community. They've seen that there are 4 students that are dead. There's no suspect at this time. The latest we've heard from Moscow police, they do not believe there's an active threat out to the community either. Now, we have these names, and we can release them for you guys right now if we want to throw up a graphic that makes it a little bit easier to digest. It's Ethan Chapin, a 20-year-old from Conway, Washington. Madison Mogen, a 21-year-old from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Xana Kernodle, a 21-year-old from Avondale, Arizona, but we do know that she originally is from Post Falls, Idaho. And then Kaylee GonCalves, 21-year-old from Rathdrum, Idaho. And we talked with a student who lives right next to this house where this happened. She had no idea that any of this happened the night of. She says that the next day they saw these police cars out, and everybody in that house, 6 people live there. They've all since gone home. Her and her last roommate were the last 2 to leave. She says that's the same for all the houses in this block, in and around this area of town. These students are going home early for Thanksgiving break.
Okay, first off, what I find very, very interesting is why are they okay to leave? I mean, you know, a part of me goes, instantly, if something like this happens, I'm investigating. You know, obviously, I'm not a police officer or anything like that, but I'm just saying, I would assume you would go and investigate every single last person, the neighbors, the whoever, you name it. You're knocking down every door, trying to find out Did you hear anything? Did you see anything? So on and so forth. So you're telling me everybody that's in the area has been cleared and they all can go home early? See, that doesn't make sense to me. Instantly, I'm going, it could be a neighbor, or it could be a person down across the way, could be an annoyed person that just happens to live near them. They could have, that house could have, that apartment built room or that apartment could have been bumping with craziness all the time. I don't know. It's just, I'm not sitting. Hold on. I see KCTV said because you can't detain people because their neighbor passed. Now I get that. All I'm saying is there. I guess I don't know. A part of me would be like, hey, I wouldn't leave yet, you know. And I understand them not feeling safe. Those students, they're all students. But in my mind, I'm going, man, did they investigate and they interrogate every single person before they left? Did they? It's interesting. Now, I saw something else. They said that they didn't hear at least one of the neighbors. One neighbor said they didn't hear anything during when the incident went down. Now, it could have been a knife. It could have been a gun. We don't know. I saw somebody else say maybe it was carbon monoxide poisoning. Let me tell you, when they say it was a one-off type of thing, that does not give me the vibe. And of course, the fact that they're saying this is an apparent, they're looking into this as a homicide, to me, that screams something foul happened to these young kids. Something happened against their will. So that does not mean, damn, they should have had a carbon monoxide alarm system in the room. No. A one-off type of thing tells me two certain very important pieces of items were used for them to not be here anymore. If that makes any sense. It takes not carbon monoxide. Okay? This has to do with something completely different, and yeah. So when they say a one-off type of thing, y'all, come on. Do the math. Do the math. Now, Alex Big Brother says, police says it's blades, a knife. Now, if that's the case, I haven't seen anything. Oh, okay. It's a news release police put out. Okay, that's news to me. I'm gonna have to look that up as well. Okay, but that's crazy. Okay, and if that's the case, then if it is a knife, then it's a knife. Then that's it. That's also very hard. You know, it'd be. Like I said, it's a one-off type of thing. And clearly they're looking at the situation. They haven't said much, at least from what we know so far. And to the fact that they're looking at this and saying they're looking into this as a homicide, that says a lot to me. Let's see. Let's see here. Now, if there was some sort of press conference, I have yet to see anything of that sort. I have yet to see anything of that sort. So if anybody has that, please let me know. Okay. Because I'd love to know as well. Okay. And Tracy's Triumph. Yes, I will be covering the situation at UVA. Trust me, I will be talking about that as well. One story at a time, though. All right, but I will be talking about that. There's just a release. Let me see what could there have been. Trying to find it myself because that is news to me. No. I mean, you guys can look at this with me so that you guys aren't so bored. And if you guys have it, please email it to me because I'd love to see where that is because that is very much news to me right now, for sure. But let me show you guys this. And so right here, it says investigators are looking for a suspect in the unliving of 4 University of Idaho students whose bodies were found at an off-campus home during the weekend, news reported. Let's see. Authorities released a little information about the demise, including the cause. Okay, there we go. But have said all 4 students are victims and that there is no active risk to the community, which still I don't agree with. Okay. And actually, let me blow this up because sorry about this. That is the tiniest writing in the world. Okay. So they're saying that there's no active risk to the community, which I don't agree with at all. Because there could be other students that are targets. Let me just say that too, or other people. Let's just say that God forbid this person goes, wow, I successfully did this. Let me see if I can successfully do some more things too. So let me go run amok and do God forbid more unaliving. So yes, the community should be at risk. Sorry, not trying to fearmonger, but come on, y'all. Come on. Okay. Have you seen Dahmer? Okay. Just saying, people are crazy out here. All right. The Idaho Statesman reported late Monday night that investigators are seeking a suspect. All I can say is that the unalivings were ruled as a homicide at this point, and homicide and murder are synonymous. That's what the captain told the Statesman by phone. We certainly have a crime here, so we're looking for a suspect. Okay, of course, the police had discovered the student's body just before noon on Sunday as they responded to a report of an unconscious person, which makes no sense to me still. Unconscious person at a home, at a home steps away from the campus. Of course, we already know the victims' names. Scott Green, the U of I president, said the students were all unalived and under tragic circumstances. The mayor said all 4 students were considered victims in the situation or in the investigation. Dahlinger told the Idaho Statesman Monday night that none of the deceased students are believed to be responsible for their demise. The students likely passed between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., but they weren't discovered for hours. The police got there at noon. Nothing happened in the interim, and nothing happened afterwards. So it seemed to be a unique occurrence that was not apt to be repeated. That timeline helped authorities determine that there was not an active risk. Of course, the school has the university canceled classes on Monday and said additional security staffers were available to walk students across the campus if needed during the remainder of the week, which of course a lot of students have already gone home because they're not feeling safe. Still, the lack of information about the cause of their demise and the fact that police have said that there's no one in custody had many parents worried about campus safety and some students leaving for Thanksgiving break early. I would do the same thing. I'm sorry. I'd be calling up my kid and going, you getting your ass back home right now. I don't care. You can make it up when you get back. If there's a paper, you can send it. You know, you can always email it, sweetheart. Get your butt back home so you can be safe, because this is not safe right now. In a memo released Monday afternoon, University of Idaho President Scott Green urged university employees to be empathetic and flexible and work with students who decided to leave classes to spend time with their families. I would tell everybody, yo, y'all get A's, go home. Seriously, that paper that was due, just don't worry about it. Y'all get A's. Let's go. All right. The police said anyone with information should contact the department and ask the people respect the privacy of the victims' families and friends. Now, fire chief of Moscow Volunteer Fire and EMS Department said police were the first to arrive at the home. The first responders from the fire and EMS department didn't go inside or transport anyone from the scene. This is apparently what the fire chief has said. The city of Moscow is a close-knit college town nestled in the rolling hills of north central Idaho. The university, okay, I'm like co-reading the hell out of this right now. I'm trying to see where they're saying anything about what happened. If there's, what was the weapon? If there wasn't a weapon or not. Apparently, there's a vigil for the slain students at 5 p.m. on Wednesday at the university administration's lawn at the University of Idaho. See, I don't see anything in here that says weapons. What was the use? Check my email or tweets. Let me check that really, really quick. I appreciate you guys sending it to me. Thank you. Let me see what you guys said to me here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm looking. I'm checking. What's your screen name? Let's see. Hold on. Lindsay just said, check your email or tweets. Yes, I'm curious as to what it is, where it is. There we go. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate you. Good looking out. Blammo. Let me check this out. And y'all, please follow me on Twitter. Okay, the Pascal Show, one word. That would be greatly appreciated. But here is a press release from Moscow, from Moscow PD. So, says on November 13th, okay, we already know about, they responded to a call on King Road for an unconscious individual. Upon arrival, officers discovered 4 individuals who were deceased. The unalivings have been ruled to be a homicide. We all know about that. Although no weapons have been located, based on preliminary information, the investigators believe that an edged weapon, such as a knife, was used. Autopsies are scheduled to be completed later this week and will hopefully provide more definitive information on the exact cause of their demise. Also, based on the information from the preliminary investigation, investigators believe this was an isolated, targeted attack, and there is no imminent threat to the community at large. Investigators are continuing to work diligently on establishing a timeline of relevant events to recreate the victims' activities on the evening of November 12th and early morning of November 13th, following all leads and identifying persons of interest. Currently, there are no suspects in custody. Like I said, this person, this piece of work, this monster is still out here breathing in this freedom air. The Moscow Police Department is working closely with the Idaho State Police, as well as other state and federal law enforcement partners on this case. Investigators are asking anyone with information about this incident to contact the Moscow Police at 208-883-7054. I'll read that one. That's a different one. So 208-883-7054. So we now know, thank you to all y'all out here that were in the chat, because like I said, this is a family affair. I can't do all this stuff myself, so I appreciate you giving me the information, because without you guys, there would be no show, okay? So shout out to the fam and all you out there that were giving me the information live. And that's really good information to know. Very important information to know. So I'm going to read that again. Although no weapons have been located, that's the other thing too, and that's the reason why I will say that too. That's the reason why they're looking at this as an M or as an H, and the reason why they think that whoever did this is out on the lam, has kicked rocks out here in these wilderness streets right now. Why? Because very important. Although no weapons have been located, based on preliminary information, and obviously, if you walk into the scene, you can sit there and go, duh. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already know what was used, okay? If it was a GSW, a gunshot wound, if it was a knife wound, you would know. It doesn't take much to just look at that and see what's going on. So based on preliminary information, investigators believe that an edged weapon such as a knife was used. Again, they said, although no weapons have been located. So you're telling me that whoever did whatever they did, if clearly someone came into that room or was with them for the night, kicking it with them or whatever, and then did God knows what and took off with the weapon. Obviously. And this is the reason why they're saying there's no way this was like a group like self-inflicted thing, if you get what I'm saying. Because then where's the weapon at? The weapon will be lying in the room right next to them, especially if it was from a sharp object. Think about it. What, the person who did it just, if it was the fella, let's just say, and they all agreed that they were going to do this together as some weird ritualistic thing. What, he just, as he runs out and throws the knife somewhere and then goes back in and perishes? That makes no sense. So clearly, someone was with them, kicking it or something, and then something unthinkable happened. And that person has the murder weapon. Period. And that's the other thing, Allison Sexton. That is a very good question, too. How were they found? What was the setting? What was the setting? And that's the other thing, too. That's why I keep saying, like, it's so annoying. It's so annoying because you're sitting here saying, the mayor's going, there's nothing to be worried about. Everything is fine. What are you talking about? There's somebody out on the loose that just did an unthinkably disturbing crime. That makes no sense. Incredibly heartbreaking, heinous crime. 4 people gone. And the mayor's going, everything's fine. Just go back to your normal business. That makes no sense. Understandably, you have parents going, baby, you coming home. What the hell you doing? You ain't staying at the University of Idaho. You get your butt back home. You going to stay home safe. So that doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. But they're saying the community's fine. Okay. I guarantee you that entire university is now a ghost town and will continue to be a ghost town until they find that suspect fast. And I hope that they do. I hope that they do. We don't need anybody hurt. And college is expensive. Okay? I'm just saying. Let these kids go back and matriculate. All right? But at the same time, they should be able to go and matriculate safely without looking over their shoulder, without being worried about going to a party or hanging out with some friends with some monster busting in and doing God knows what. And I have to say this too. My heart goes out to the families and friends that are deeply affected by this. My heart goes out to the university, all the students and all the staff, everyone involved and connected to the University of Idaho, because this is something that you never think would happen. And then guess what? It happens. It's so sad. That chick, Jules, hey, welcome to becoming a member. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. Welcome to the chaos, which is the Pascal show. I appreciate it. Seriously. Thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, it's just so wild to me. I'm going to play. I got another thing I want to show you guys too. And of course, we're going to be talking about the University of, this incident at UVA as well on another live. So be on the lookout for that. I will be doing that later on this evening for sure. It's just like I said, just our children, like even our college students can't even be safe. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Real talk. What the hell is going on? Interesting. So, very messed up. Very, very messed up. But let me show you guys a little bit of this video too. Again, man, so disturbing.
A murder mystery in Idaho. 4 University of Idaho students were found dead in their off-campus apartment. It's now being investigated as a homicide. Kana Whitworth has the latest. Good morning, Kana.
Yeah, George, good morning. So I spoke with the mayor in Moscow, Idaho last night. He described the crime scene as complex. He said Idaho State Patrol has now joined this investigation, adding that they're bringing in their mobile processing lab to help solve this case. This morning, a tight-knit community in northern Idaho reeling after 4 University of Idaho students were found dead in an apartment across the street from campus.
I think it's shocking for everybody.
Police are calling it a homicide. Authorities say the initial call for an unconscious person came in just before noon Sunday. But Mayor Art Betke telling ABC News the crime happened hours before.
Given what the nature of the scene was, they've indicated that it was 3 or 4 in the morning when things happened.
Once officers arrived, they found a horrifying scene. 3 women and 1 man, all members of the Greek community on campus, were dead. The foursome seen here in this photo posted by Kaylee GonCalves just hours before their deaths.
There isn't a person on campus who isn't affected by this. I mean, these are like really adored and loved people on our campus.
Freshman Ethan Chapin's brother telling ABC News in a statement, "We are triplets, and it's hard to imagine life without him." Upon learning of their deaths, an alert was sent to students to shelter in place. It was lifted less than an hour later.
See, and that's the weird thing to me. You're saying, oh, everything's good, right? Go back an hour later. You can go back and do your thing. Don't worry about it. Yet this is a mass unaliving. In the most heartbreaking and heinous ways. Yet you're telling your students at first, shelter in place, don't move, don't do anything until we tell you otherwise. And then after that, you're going, oh, no, everything's fine now. But you still have somebody out, at large. That doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. Okay? It really doesn't make any sense. Again, A-Lady747 said, I thought it was recreational. No, it was not. It is a sharp object. Okay? And unfortunately, this is terrible. Okay? This is absolutely, absolutely terrible. Okay? Absolutely terrible, terrible, terrible. And this is just craziness. All right. But, yeah, Jamie just said, so the unconscious person was alive a while before the. See, that's the thing. That's the one thing that doesn't make any sense. Like, and that's the thing that we're trying to figure out. I don't think that the unconscious person was around. The unconscious person was already gone. But and then the other thing is if there was a 911 call, or the main question before we go into the 911 call is, how did the cops get the tip? In what way did the cops get the tip? Was it a 911 call? And if it is a 911 call, where's the recording? I'd love to hear it myself. What kind of details were they saying in the thing? What was going on? Inquiring minds would like to know. Then on top of that, they say, because I saw somebody else repeat it too, like on my thumbnail, they say this is a crime of passion. So what indicates that this was a crime of passion? Were there several entry pokes? Trying to find these code words, y'all. You see what I'm saying? Was it multiple? If you get what I'm saying? Or was it just straight across? Inquiring minds would like to know. Because the one thing that they're saying is the weapon. Ray said one weapon. Allegedly, they're saying one weapon. That one weapon does not exist. That one weapon is gone. Has disappeared. Which obviously indicates that somebody was there. Somebody was there, did God knows what, did the unthinkable, and then ran off with the actual weapon. So there's no way that these four did this to themselves without a sharp object nearby. That's the part that doesn't make any sense. So if there's anybody out here thinking that, it was a self-inflicted group thing, look at the information that we've gotten so far, and I'm telling you, I beg to differ. There is somebody out here that is kick rocks, it's out here free as a bird, and the university campus, the University of Idaho's campus, should be taking this absolutely seriously. Because God knows what this person's focus, what the next target is, if there is another one. Just because they say it's a crime of passion doesn't mean that that person isn't passionate about some other people too. You feel me? We have plenty of serial killers out here. All right. After they had one successful situation, they ran off and did a whole lot more because they didn't get caught. They continued doing it to feed whatever was giving them that disgusting high. So the mayor of that town and the university should take this absolutely 110% seriously, because this person is still at large. Again, my thoughts and prayers go out to every single person that is involved with this. Okay. This is just absolutely devastating. And it still, again, doesn't make any bloody sense at all whatsoever. And it's the same thing with the UVA situation, with the shooting at the UVA with those students. It's still devastating. None of this is making sense. And more, we're hearing about more and more senseless acts of violence like this. And our young ones our young ones' lives are being claimed. And it's really, really sad. So I'm hoping that they find out what's going on here with the quickness, and we can bring some justice for these 4 students. But we'll see. We will see here very, very soon. But y'all, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Real talk. I really do appreciate all y'all for being here. This is just wild, y'all. Like I said, I'm still wrapping my mind around this one. Shoot, we still got to talk about the situation, the incident that happened with the college football students, the college football athletes whose lives were taken. We'll be talking about that later on this evening for sure, because we got to talk about that one. This is just so bad. Okay? So bad. And again, another unthinkable, heinous crime that has no real reason. There's no, just other senseless acts of violence just keep popping off. It's insane. But we will be talking about that tonight for sure. Okay. So I appreciate all y'all for being here, having the conversation with me, because that is another story that is finished, right? That person has been brought to justice, or has at least been detained. And we're still kind of gathering more information around that one. We're still scratching our heads about that one as well. But we will be talking about that one this evening, because we got to talk about that and bring awareness to such a heartbreaking series of violence again. And if there's any more information revolving around this particular one, I will definitely be talking about it for sure. Okay? So be on the lookout for that. Tasty T said, do you make toddler sweatsuits? Yes, I do. Actually, surprise. Yes, I do. We are in the middle of working on getting some things out that are for the little ones, for the minis. Okay, for all of our mini me's out there. We got some stuff coming up here very, very soon, which I can't wait to show you guys and share with y'all. But yes, we do make toddler sweatsuits as well. So be on the lookout for that for sure. And we will be getting those things on and popping without a doubt. Okay. But anyway, it is time to get going. I appreciate all y'all. I will be on a little bit later on this evening. So be sure to hit that notification bell, as some of the other YouTubers say. Be sure to ring that bell. Okay. So ring that bell. All right. Do not forget to hit that like button down below. That would be really appreciated, okay? Send it past 400 likes before you head off. A like doesn't cost a thing. It helps to get the story out there into the algorithm and into people's phones or wherever they're watching it. That would really, really mean a lot, I'm trying to give you guys stories that aren't always being talked about. This one seemed to be something that's flying low under the radar, and I'm like, no, we need to talk about this one. This one's crazy and it's heartbreaking, and we need to get justice for those 4 students. And of course, we're going to talk about UVA here this evening. So be on the lookout for that. We got to talk about that one as well. Okay, ring that bell. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't done that yet. All right, it'd be great to have you part of the Pascal Show family. We talk about everything on this show, everything on this show. Doesn't matter what race. I talk about everything on this show. We need to bring justice to everything as much as we can, bring light and attention to all the stuff that's going on in the world. So I'm trying to do my due diligence as much as I can. I am only one man. So please support. Hit that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I appreciate all y'all for being here. I got to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Have a blessed rest of your day. See you guys tonight. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.